So here's what I'm getting. Weapon 2, you're awesome. T-Crawler, you're awesome. Captain Mel, I'm awesome. Mischief Managed, you're banned for a year.
What the fuck?
Welcome everyone to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews.
Giving you opinions about nerd stuff is our superpower.
I'm Captain Mao.
And I'm your boy, T-Crawler.
And I'm Weapon 2. And as my eyes begin tearing. But what is episode 34, if not TWG persevering?
Okay, nice. I see what you're doing there. Nicely done, sir.
Hey, who's that over there? Hey, welcome back, Mischief Managed.
I didn't even know
Hey!
Come back again. Hi, thank you for unbanning me from my lifetime ban. I appreciate you having me back.
But it is
Give me one more chance.
But your lifetime ban is lifted once exactly, and we're gonna have to see how this goes, barring,
Okay,
repeat.
so we're just going to go ahead and know that I'm going to get banned again. Like, I'm going to make this worth my while.
Cool. See you next year then.
Yes!
That'd be great. So yeah, welcome back. Got anything going on? Anything you want to throw out there for the kids at home?
I do. So since last year, I have been working on my postcard empire, but also I have a new line of t-shirts for Life of the Kind. So, and they're mostly like nerdy and snarky t-shirts, and they are inclusively sized up to 4X. I have some sold being locally at the Crafty Bees boutique at the Everett Mall, but most of them are going to be found on my website, lifeofthekind.com. And when you put my little graphic in, could you put some sparkles on that? Like sparkle it in.
Sparkles are cool.
I will learn how to do sparkles just to make that happen.
Yes!
Well done. Okay.
Twinkles and sparkles, they're the best.
Whoa.
Oh,
Just sparkles.
Twinkles. No, he said twinkles.
Twinkles.
Let's make that
Add
happen,
twinkles.
too. Let's do
Make his job
it.
even harder.
Let's do it.
I can do all the research. Okay,
Thank
yes,
you.
we will make that happen.
Good job, Weapon
You bet.
2.
Hey, and any extra items of flair that you have laying around.
Why don't you calm down over there, sir?
All the flair.
All the flair. We'll give it all the flair.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Sounds like a lot of super exciting stuff going on with you over there.
We do.
Do you have any of those t-shirt designs, like off the top of your head, you could rattle off?
I do. So I have one that's peace, love, and light, and a little go fuck yourself. So
Nice!
Wasn't ready for the last part.
and
Yeah!
yes. So and my favorite one is currently I should have checked myself, me, after I wrecked myself. Yeah. So we're throwing it back to like the 80s and 90s kids right there.
Nice.
Because you can be disheveled after a wrecking yourself. Yeah.
After you've been rickety wrecked.
Wrecking, that's for sure. Okay, so we actually, before we move on so we have to have a little bit of an amended statement
Oh.
from Captain Mel for something
Whoa.
that you said.
Whoa.
That you
all right.
said on the last episode.
Oh, why are you bringing a bullshit?
We need to have a little bit of an amended statement from that. So on the topic portion.
Did you rewatch your episode just to bring this up?
No, on the last week's episode.
Last week's episode.
33.
Okay.
Episode 33. So when you were saying on the what are we up to segment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what's coming now.
Well, I got a fucking earful about this,
You
didn't
know
I?
what's coming now. So, just to recap, when he said that he had watched all 6 seasons of Community.
Still waiting on that movie.
Okay. So you said that you were prompted to do so by Soulstar, and nothing against Soulstar. He's a really stand-up guy. However, that wasn't necessarily the whole truth. No,
Well,
was it?
so actually, I mean, I'm not.
Wait, no. So I just want to say that was Mischief Managed erasure, and I will not stand for it. I will not stand for it.
I appreciate your umbrage. I truly, truly do. Wow. But if we go back, and not to get a full lawyer on you here, but if we roll the footage, which I will do, I didn't say I was recently prompted and told to watch said show. I said I first heard about this show from one of our best podcast guests, Soulstar. I have checked out a little show that one of our best guests ever talked about in depth that I had never seen before. And I'm talking about Mr. Soulstar. Talked about a little sitcom called Community.
True statement.
Technically, I was correct. And if you want to sit over there and be angry, that's cool.
I
That's
am
fine.
angry. That was Mischief Managed.
Are you sure you're not just angry because you watched the Snyder Cut?
I'm so tired for that. Like, I literally stayed up all night to do that. It wasn't like just 4 hours and 4 minutes. It just felt like forever.
It kind of did,
It
actually.
really did. Like, it was a late night watching
Anyway,
it, though.
so I appreciate your umbrage, but I shall
Oh,
not.
quit your whining.
I'm not going to do it.
I'm not asking you to recant. I'm asking you to adjust. Like,
I worked all night and then I watched that. I've had 3 hours sleep in the last 25 hours. Come on,
I've had
man.
2 hours and 58 minutes sleep in the last Not that we're counting or anything.
I went to bed at 5:25 this morning, so I just want to let you know where I'm at.
Fine. For the record, you also did strongly recommend that show, and that is what prompted me to start watching it, but it's not where I heard about it from, which is what I was talking about in the episode.
I will accept that. I will accept that.
Fine.
I believe the record's
Amended.
straightened.
The record is
Amended.
straightened.
Corrected. It's amended.
Amended.
Everything's good.
All right.
Good job.
Before we get into the Snyder Cut, a little season finale happens called WandaVision. And so we gave some bold predictions on episode 33, and we were totally wrong about fucking all of them. Like, precisely nothing I said was going to happen happened. But we want to talk about that finale real quick. And Mischief Managed, starting with you, what did you think kind of overall of the show, and what did you think of that finale?
Okay, so I have to say my favorite part of the finale was like at the very, very end when Wanda was reading from the Necronomicon, and you know that she was about to call forth evil Ash because there's only one thing stronger than the Infinity Stones, and that's a fucking boomstick. So did I not get that right? Is that not right?
That didn't happen.
Who are you talking to? There's nobody
didn't
over
happen.
there. We're in an empty studio.
Yeah.
No,
Were you
I
watching
like-
the same program? Is what I'm wondering.
Was that not the Necronomicon? It wasn't?
No.
Is that no?
No.
Shit. Okay.
I appreciate the confidence, though.
I loved it.
Totes.
I loved it. No, actually, like
You almost made me believe what you were saying.
right? Like I had
Yeah,
to go.
for a
You're like,
second.
is that
I was
really?
like,
is
wait,
that
did
what
I miss
happened?
something?
Well, you were the one who was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so you should know better.
Oh, no, yeah. We're totally into that.
Damn, she's just
Yeah.
calling out this whole panel. What did
Yeah.
Lottie do wrong?
I
mean, T. Crawler.
I did my homework, so
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, so I really honestly like
I'm
there
waiting
was
for it.
I think one of the things that we have a problem
remember
with, there's so much expectation, like, and it was really awesome. Like, they kept building on this every single week. There was more and more and more. It was just like Easter egg after Easter egg after Easter egg, and everybody was just exploring like what could happen, what could happen, what could happen, and none of it happened. So it was nuts. So I think most of like people who were disappointed by the finale, they were disappointed by their own expectations of what they wanted or thought was going to happen versus
You've been punked.
letting it organically just work on its own. So
Did the format bug you? Like, would you have preferred to have been able to like binge it, or did you like having to wait a week for it?
So I like waiting a week, and I think,
Nice.
I think that gives you a chance to be able to really just sit with it. Because there's no point in having a show with that many clues and Easter eggs if you don't have time to like work through them and talk through them and figure them out, and just like go absolutely nuts trying to figure out what every little thing means. Like, especially like for me, I love looking at set pieces. Like, I love looking at the set, and I figured out a lot of shit that was going to happen just based off of what was happening on the set at the time. Like, I knew that they were like something big was going to happen with the twins because they had a lot of like glass vases in sets of 2. And then like when the colors changed on the vases, I was like, oh, that's a green vase.
And
They're gonna
kids
bring,
break glass
right? And that
vases.
was
You're
when-
right.
Yes, and that was when they brought Quicksilver in, and I was like, and I figured that out before it happened just because looking at the set. So, I mean, clues like that, like you have to be able to sit and digest it for it to really work well. So yes, I loved it in the episodic format versus like being able to binge watch it.
Nice. What did you guys think of the finale? And none of your theories came true either. But what did?
I don't know.
Were you happy with
I
it?
didn't
Was
even-
it disappointing?
Well,
Was it-
I didn't have a theory because I didn't know what the hell was going to go. Like she said, I think this is going to happen. I think this is going to happen, and none of it happened. I stopped that after like episode 3. I'm like, fuck it. It's just nothing's going to happen that I'm thinking, so I'm just going to see what happens. So I didn't have any theories for anything. I just enjoyed it week by week and just went with whatever was going to happen. So with the finale though, I thought it was awesome. I really enjoyed it, and then for them to have a freaking after credit scene, it's like holy shit. I'm glad I stuck around and waited, because I always look at the timer anyway. I'm like, okay, wait, there's still a bunch of time
Right.
left. Like, what the hell's gonna happen? And then they did it. It's like, okay, and that's freaking awesome. The only thing I hated is that there's only one season. That's it.
well, right now.
But it was only slotted for that. I mean, that's all they were going to do in the first place.
Yeah,
so.
but I mean, it could come back. You never know.
Yeah, I think they should just leave it how it is.
Me too. But what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, so at the very end, in the little cabin that Wanda was at, I actually forgot to look it up. I thought about it. Was that the same cabin from The Incredible Hulk?
Good question. Weapon 2. Was that the same cabin from The Incredible Hulk?
Because I thought
From the
there was,
Incredible Hulk movie?
yeah.
I don't know. It might have been.
like
might
it literally,
be
like
a
it
lot,
just,
yeah.
like it was just a thought that struck me. I was
Yeah.
like, is that it? And I thought I need to look that up later. Totally forgot to do it, but But is that? I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not sure.
We have homework.
But Marvel Weapon 2, as our resident Marvel expert, what did you think? What did you think of White Vision? What did you think of all that?
So this is what. Oh, here's the deal. I loved White Vision. I think that was cool. I think that the for the people who really wanted to see a big battle happen, that have been waiting all season, and that's all they care about, that kind of threw something in for people. These two battles between Agatha and Wanda and Vision and White Vision. I thought that was cool. I'll tell you what I was missing towards the end was some Jimmy Woo and some Darcy Lewis, because those are some awesome characters. And for Darcy just to show up and run into a guy and that's it, man, I thought those are some good characters that they need to take better advantage of. So I was missing some of that. I thought that they needed to, at the end, to have a bigger, more bad, important villain that they could try to fight, because in the end, Wanda is the villain. And she's the villain. She's not an intentional villain. She's not an evil villain. She is just a villain of circumstance. Like the most interesting and cool villains, it's because of her own personal anguish, unintentional, where you can empathize with her and feel and understand what happened, but she still took almost 4,000 people a hostage and took their free will and took over their minds and bodies and tortured them for weeks. So that's not good. And it kind of makes you a villain, but even though she just made a good decision at the end, you can't take that away, that happened. Because at the end, they just go, okay, no harm, no foul. We'll just go back to our lives. Try to, I don't know, piece them back together.
So the real villain was grief. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Grief was the villain, but I mean, she was the one doing the thing. And I think she only becomes a villain when she begins to understand what she's doing, and then keeps doing it for a period of time. If she doesn't even realize what's going on, that's one thing. But once you realize it and you're going, well, my happiness is more important than torturing these people, so I'll keep doing it for a while longer. I think that's when you become villain.
But that entire thing was done so well. Like the
whole
slow
story
build to
was
that,
really
making
good.
you empathize with her, making your heart break for her, and then you see it, and then when the town was like surrounding her and like coming at her, and she was apologizing in tears, like, wow, that was really, really, really good.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought the finale was fantastic.
One other thing I wanted to add before I forget was the fight between the Visions. Was he looked freaking more badass in that than he did in the freaking in the movie
Infinity War,
where he's getting fucked up the whole time.
I get it. So how about like I stab you through the chest from behind, and then the rest of the day see how well you fight after that?
Well, he should be okay.
He should be okay.
He's
That's
not a
fine.
person,
Okay,
so it should be
sure.
As long as there wasn't gum mucking up the works, he should be just fine.
No gum.
Right?
So
That was stupid. That was stupid.
Hey, can we take a break? Can we take a break in this fight and talk about an old wooden ship? Have you heard about
Let's have a moral debate in the middle
the thought
of the fight.
experiment of the ship of Theseus?
I fucking loved that. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
Because that's totally Vision.
That's computer talk.
Vision is just
That's
hitting you with
computers
good
talking.
lines the whole time.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Can I interface with your operating system?
I mean,
Yes,
that
you
sounds it's a little presumptuous. I'm glad he asked for consent.
That's right. That's good lessons. Yeah.
All right, so where do we think the characters are going from here? Do we think we obviously know that Wanda's going to be in the Multiverse of Madness, and there was a Sorcerer Supreme kind of hint dropped. I'm still kind of bummed Doctor Strange didn't show up.
Hawkeye didn't.
Hey, how did the? Did you ever figure out the jars? What with the coffee and the tea and all that?
You can go fuck yourself.
So, okay,
I was
cool.
right on more
sure.
things than-
No, it's
Okay,
fine.
at
No, it's
least-
fine.
at
We're just
least-
bringing up shit that didn't happen.
At
That's
least
fine.
the jars were on set, unlike Hawkeye.
yeah, no.
Okay.
Fuck you.
I heard that the intention was to have Doctor Strange at the end, but because of the way all the filming started getting messed up
Couldn't come
because
back.
of
Yeah, couldn't come.
the COVID-19 thing, that prevented that. But the intent, the originally that was the intent. So
It really felt like that's what it was building toward.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Didn't they already start filming that, or?
I don't. I think that got
the
postponed.
movie? Yeah, I think
is it filming already?
Yeah, I just think all the filming and everything got pushed around and
shifted,
scrambled
yeah.
up so much that they couldn't get it all to match up to do all the things they had planned on originally.
That seems right.
Yeah.
I still feel like the fights that we did get at the end and everything that came full circle with the story, I felt it was good. Like I was disappointed that it didn't have a big name actor like that, but as a whole, I felt it was good. Like are people complaining about this? Like I haven't even looked. Like do people not liking it?
Hey, dude.
Sorry, I get it.
Are
It's
you
the
new?
internet. People complain
There's people
about
complain about everything.
I'm sorry I said anything.
I'm in 2 Marvel groups that all they do is complain. There's one that was built just specifically for that show, and all they do is
I
complain.
think you sent me a screenshot of you guys like having it out.
Yeah.
They get mean online.
They are mean. There's mean people.
I'm
on the
glad we're
internet.
not more successful. Some mean comments could be coming our way. So yeah, I liked it. I think it was really, really good. I mean, I get it if it's not your cup of tea, which is why at the time of this recording, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to air tonight at midnight, and I think that'll be more of your traditional, straightforward Marvel like action comedy thing. And I think we're all
they've said already that this is going to be your a straightforward program.
Good.
They're not going to do anything. There's not supposed to be anything cryptic or hidden. It's going to be just spy. You know what? For when you're talking about spin-offs from here, I'm hoping we're going to get a Jimmy Woo Agents of Atlas, so then we can have a spin-off of Gorilla Man and the Human Robot together in a buddy
Gorilla Man and Human Robot
comedy show. Taika Waititi, you need to direct this. It needs to happen. I'm going to continue to barrage everybody in related to Marvel about this. It needs to happen.
You know what?
Hashtag make it happen.
That sounded batshit crazy, but then you remember we live in a world where the highest grossing movie of all time has a talking raccoon in it. Fuck it, do it.
Oh no, it changed. It changed.
Damn it, Avatar's
now.
re-release.
It's Avatar now. It's Avatar now.
Ask how many
Re-release
people,
Endgame. I'll go fucking to make this happen again.
Ask how many people really knew who the Eternals were before. Now they're coming out with Eternal movie. Yeah. I mean, there's Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody cared about them. No. There's all these characters that they're making awesome. Those 2 characters, just because people don't know that much about them, doesn't mean they're not awesome. They're awesome.
Yeah. I'm on board. I'm for it.
Okay.
Also, fuck Avatar. But all right, any other thoughts on WandaVision? Because I feel like I at least am itching to talk about the Snyder Cut. So, no.
I enjoyed it. It was a good program.
Yeah. Watch it if you haven't. What the fuck are you doing?
Yep.
Watch the show.
Now you can binge it.
I enjoyed it. I mean, like, honestly, if you've ever been through like a grieving period in your life, it actually had a lot of really good lines that focused on, the process of grieving and working your way through it. And I think as a whole, like, it was written really well and it was acted phenomenal.
Again, like I said in the last podcast, everyone's good in it, but Elizabeth Olsen, damn, she's such a good actress.
Right. Like she didn't have to go in as hard as she did. And I mean, she really
50% better than she needed to be for this show.
I agree. Like, she just did an absolutely amazing job.
She did. I agree.
Yeah. Just like us. An absolutely amazing job.
Oh, we're not that good.
I'm just doing 50% right now. So.
I appreciate you trying.
Bring my energy.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about the Snyder Cut. So the Snyder Cut released this morning, whatever you want to call it. 4 hours and 2 minutes.
Was it 4 hours and 2? I thought it was 4 hours and 4 minutes.
It was 4 hours in my entire fucking life is what it was.
It seemed like 8 hours and 25 minutes.
So the general consensus, none of us have talked about it. The general consensus is we liked it. Special guest, Mischief Managed. Mm-hmm. We will start with you again.
Okay.
What did you think of the Snyder Cut?
So my first, you've heard of the saying, throwing the baby out with the bathwater?
I have not.
Okay. So
who would do such what a horrific thing.
What is that? No, explain that shit.
Oh my God.
When you're just done with the bathwater and you just throw it all out and you're not even
and just throw the baby away.
Right. So,
have you heard of the saying, baking the baby with the cupcakes?
Okay.
I haven't either, but it sounds just as bad.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah, I just did.
That was good shit.
So in the Snyder Cut is now the bathwater that you're bringing back in, but not only are you bringing the bathwater back in, the baby is in there. I mean, and they just threw everything in the bathwater. I mean, they threw
their babies?
No, they threw airborne hot dogs. I mean, there were literally flying wieners in there. Okay, there was a woman who was smelling Arthur's clothes and singing a funeral dirge.
Mischief Managed,
what
I am
did that
trying
have to do with it?
really hard to wrap my head around this analogy.
There's just everything. There's so much.
It's also
that's
supposed to
in
be
there.
batshit crazy.
Right.
Got
like,
it.
It was like there's so much that they threw in there. Like 4 hours and 4 minutes is like literally sleep not found. It was just, there was so much in there, and you have to wonder, like, was it all extremely necessary? Like the woman smelling Arthur's clothes. Like, what is she doing?
That was
That
weird.
was weird. Like,
That
and
was
she had
weird.
crazy eyes singing a funeral dirge. Like, was
she
that
did.
absolutely necessary? So, and it could have been probably cut down to at least 3 hours if they had just like all the slow-mo was regular mo.
That was a lot of slow-mo.
Yep.
There was a lot of slow-mo.
I feel like, and I don't know how much this played into it, but like Endgame was 3.5 hours, and I feel like they're like, you know what's better than 3.5? 4.
I can't wait till a 5-hour movie. I can't wait till we get to watch
Like
an
Lord of the Rings or something.
an 8-hour movie.
Okay,
5-hour
we'll get into
walk.
details, but like as a whole, Weapon 2, what did you think?
Here's what I thought. I thought that I agree with her 100% that it probably could have been 3 hours. I think they did a lot of cool things. The CGI was on point. I mean, especially, I'm gonna tell you right now. You can say, you can make noises down there, but when he went and discovered where the what is it, the anti-life equation or whatever was, and it showed the close-up of his face, and his hands, the skin texture, and when he scraped the dirt, that CGI was,
you can tell where they spent the money.
Right.
Some things did look pretty good.
the armor was cool. All that armor that's like doing weird,
we're gonna have a different
moving all around was cool. I liked it. I mean, I don't know, but here's the deal. I think that they tried to make this a movie that they should have just turned into a series, a season of something, because they tried to cram, like Mischief Managed said, everything in there. I was worried at the beginning that they were just going to have Martian Manhunter show up for that one little snippet to go in there and fool Lois Lane into thinking that she was Martha. Was that who he pretended she was?
Yeah.
And I thought, really? Did we just one little blurb for just some little dishonesty and then he showed up at the end, so that was cool. I don't know what else to say other than they just did a lot of things. It was really interesting, but it was, for me, way more, especially in this little time crunch time we had to get this done today, was tough.
Was it hashtag not worth it?
It was hashtag I wish I had more time and could have planned a better time to watch it.
Hashtag that's a long hashtag.
It was. I was glad. I enjoyed it. I thought it was just fine. I actually had lower expectations for it than it did, and I liked it more than what I thought it was going to be.
Interesting. Okay.
I saw things, from the trailer. I saw things that I liked, but I figured, that's the best parts right there. But I think they did some good things in it. Yeah.
All right. Interesting. T. Crawler, what did you think?
I agree with. I'm on Weapon 2's team here. I enjoyed it. And
you enjoyed the entire movie?
Now listen, there's a lot of things that did need to be put in there. No, but it was way long. 4 hours is way too long. But because I was confused at first, because I thought a while back they said they were, because it was going to be so long and they wanted to get all the Snyder stuff in there.
Literally, like last week, changed it to a 4 hour.
Why? I'm like, that fucked me up. Anyway, so, but I watched this with just thinking like, okay, this is Snyder's vision, is what he wanted and not what we got. And I think, and then I just think back, like if we would have got not a 4 hour movie, but even if they would have cut this into 2 movies, I think for me, it was just better. It gave you the more background to the characters, so it didn't just seem like the characters were like, hey, join our team, okay, now we're a team, let's go fight. Like it took more time, but it kind of meshed them a little bit better for me anyway. They did a lot of the CGI was a lot better than the first movie that we got, the original, and there were some parts that, I mean, still kind of weren't there, but there were you could see, like you said, where they spent the money.
Yeah.
Some of the slow-mo thing I think was kind of cheesy. I love Flash too, but I just couldn't get into some of the slow mo shit. Like, what was up with the fucking hot dog? Like, I was like, dude, you're grabbing a hot dog.
That was.
I'm like,
All that was Zack's Quicksilver moment. It was his X-Men Quicksilver moment where he's gonna, hey, you know that thing they did on that movie? I want to do the same thing in this movie.
I got that too, but he's like looking at this chick he's been checking out, but then he grabs a hot dog.
He's brushing her hair, and then, a hot dog. I could use that for the dogs later on. I'll put that in my pocket.
Like the hot dog is more important.
I mean, and then I'll save this one for the dog, and then I'll make one, and here's some mustard, and I'll put a little on there, and I'll eat this. I'll eat the hot dog while I'm waiting, and then I'll still save her. That's what why didn't they do that? I mean,
anyway, yeah. So, there's a. I don't know. As I was watching it, I kept thinking like, this is what this is in the vision of what Snyder wanted, like his cut. And then at the same time, I was like, a lot of people were complaining about him, like, but you fuckers were all complaining that you didn't have the Snyder cut. Release the Snyder cut. Release the Snyder. Then they fucking release it, and you freaking complain about it. Like, that's why I hate people on the internet. They don't know what the fuck they want. They complain about something, then when they get it, they complain about what they get.
Except for our viewers, we love you. Please like and subscribe.
Well, our viewers don't really complain about.
What it seemed like to me, is he was listening to all the complaints that have happened ever since Justice League came out, and he said, I'm putting everything that everybody said that they wanted. And the problem is not everybody wants the same things.
Yeah, but I did love seeing Martian Manhunter. He's one of my favorites for DC. So
and they did him cool.
It did. Yeah, it threw me for. I was like, why is her eyes red? And then I'm like, I didn't even think of that. And then he turned. I was like, holy shit! And so. But I mean, there was some cool parts in there, and again, the length was freaking way too fucking long. And then like the girl smelling the clothes, I'm like, is there a story where Arthur's like a man whore and he's fucking these women on this like where he's at, and they're all like longing for him?
No, he just has groupies.
Yes.
He just has a lot of groupies.
I know, it's like, what the hell? And then
he brings them fish.
Yeah,
and they smell his clothes. Yeah.
You'd be surprised how much groupies like tilapia, bro.
Gosh. So there were a bunch of parts
good.
that were like way just like too. I mean, I nodded off on some of those parts. Like, and then I'm like, did I miss something? No, it's fucking. She still smelled like fucking clothes. I don't know. So anyway, that's my. I liked it, and I agree with a lot of what Weapon 2 said. So I actually enjoyed watching it and seeing some of the stuff that they put in. And I actually paid attention because I wanted to see how much more than what the trailer showed that they were going to put into this. And yeah, so it did better than I thought it was going to do for me anyway.
Cool. Nice. Nicely done.
So go ahead and tear it apart.
I'm not going to just tear it. No.
I didn't actually get to say what I liked about it either.
Yeah, see what you like. I'm waiting to go last. I'm going to let all you guys talk.
Okay, so what I actually really did like about it was the additional that they added for the Flash and for Cyborg, because that was something that we never got to see in the first one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got to see, we really weren't introduced to Cyborg in the first one. I mean, he was just sort of like, oh, look, he's coming in.
Right.
And, there was no real connection to him. So this one, you got a little bit more of a background. I mean, his intro story was a little bit on the cheesy side, but at least we got an intro story for him. Okay, and then the Flash. Like, he was so adorable. I mean, he runs like a dork, but I mean, like, it was just, he was coming through, but to actually be able to see his personality come through a little bit more instead of just like the joke, quip.
Right.
I mean, you actually got to see a little bit more of himself and his relationship with his father. I mean, that was really amazing for me.
And speaking of those two with when they're digging the grave, and he's like, dude, freaking Wonder Woman, do you think she'd be into young guys? And Cyborg's like, she's 5,000 years old.
Like,
everybody's younger.
Yeah.
Like, just their little,
truth
back and forth.
Hashtag awkward. Okay. But so honestly, and there was a lot of CGI that I think was kind of sketchy, but like the end battle scene, I thought, they put some good money in there, and I thought that like that little bit at the end, like the additional parts that they added at the end battle scene for me made it more impactful than the original cut. So I was a big fan of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't watched the original Justice League since I saw it in the theater for the first time. I haven't rewatched it, so any recall I was having was very, very hazy. Also in the Snyder cut, I felt like I had seen the end of a movie and then a new one was starting at least two additional times during this. I felt like, oh, am I in the sequel now? Is the first one over? It felt like you were almost like, oh, this is a good end to this movie. Oh, there's more. We're starting again.
Part 13? What?
Well, it was
Part 14.
It was kind of disjointed. Like, I mean, it wasn't just disjointed at the end in terms of like editing and flow. I mean, it was kind of disjointed throughout the whole thing. Like, there was a lot of abrupt scene changes. Like, something would, like, you know, for instance, when Clark was, you know, when he was reanimated and he was having his moment staring out the window. And that's a moment where I really felt that they could have just let it breathe a little bit and just kind of feel what he's feeling, like he's finally back. And then all of a sudden it did a quick cut back to, you know, like action scene. And it's like, okay, that just doesn't feel organic. It didn't feel right. And I feel like there's a lot of that just, you know, not really solid, you know, connective tissue going through the narrative. So you just kind of lose the narrative when things, you know, when you have that scene cuts that just don't make sense there.
Yeah, but it was more narrative than what we got in the original.
I agree with that.
Because when just him standing there and just like what happened to Superman when he flew off, like in the original, like, okay, and then some shit happened and then all of a sudden he's, you know, now he's coming to save the day, right? It's like when he's standing there and he says, I guess that means the answer is yes, you know, stuff, all the little things like that. That was pretty cool. And then one other thing, and then I'll stop because I know he wants to tear the shit apart. He's chomping at the bit, like foaming at the mouth. But okay, so I'm
being good.
I know.
I'm letting you all talk.
Yeah, you're doing good.
I got you because you're about to tear it up anyway. So Steppenwolf. So the thing I like with him was that you got to see him as a general. You got to see that not only he actually, the people that he answered to more than just Darkseid. Like he's trying to redeem himself, and you get more of that. And I think seeing him and then seeing him in all these separate battles, we got more, I guess, substance to this character.
He's desperate. You got desperation,
right? And you see it more in this, and because it, you know, they stretched it out, and you got to see all these little events and who he's talking to, and people, you know, that what was that one guy he kept talking to? Desad or something like that. Desad, yeah, something like that. He's talking to him like he's like the middleman between him and Darkseid, and the Darkseid finally comes through, and then his whole armor goes away. He's like, you know, he's like, I like that part about it, because before, like, Steppenwolf, okay, this guy is like not even a big bad, like it's not even an end character or end level, like an end level boss or anything like that. He just seemed kind of weak, so.
Did it
shiny in this one though? He was so shiny. Like that was the improvement to the costume. He went from you know, kind of like gray to really shiny.
Polished that shit up, didn't
that
they?
was good budget use.
Did it seem like, because like I said, I can't remember the original one very well. Did it seem like the end to this one was more of a team effort defeating them rather than just Superman coming and saving the day? And I thought that was, I liked that part of it. So. Yeah.
All right.
Come on, Captain Mal. Let us know what you think.
I'm going to start with what I liked. There was a lot of stuff that I liked. You're right. So the end battle was choreographed way better. It was a much more entertaining fight scene with Steppenwolf at the end. They all like had something to do and were a lot more relevant because they weren't worried about saving some random ass family that was there. So like the focus was on Steppenwolf and the mother boxes. So like that was really good. I thought the black suit looked really, really good, although it didn't really serve the purpose that it did in the comics. It was more just straight up fan service, which is fine. Right. It still looks great, and I appreciated that. I did like all the extra cyborg stuff. Like he actually has a plot in this movie, like, and has character development, and like you actually empathize with him more. And because he's so like intrinsic to the story of the mother boxes and this whole thing going on, we needed a lot more of him, and you didn't get that in the original. So it did flow narratively better that way. Yes. We got more of the Flash. I like that. I liked the Flash tapping into the Speed Force. That was good, despite his dorky ass run. That was good.
Let's see you run.
Go into the Speed
I'm
Force.
not claiming to be good at it. I did like that they removed some really awkward, out of place comical moments that I guess were clearly Whedon's writing. The problem is they also removed some really good character development moments that were clearly Whedon's writing. So okay, I did like the redesign of Steppenwolf a little bit more. I don't think it made that much of a fucking difference. I do like that we got more moments with him talking to like Darkseid and them, because you actually see what the fuck he's trying to do. We actually get an explanation as to what the mother boxes do and what the Unity is, which none of that is talked about in the original movie. So you kind of figure it out, but you really don't know.
Good point. Yep.
So like that was good. I really, really liked Martian Manhunter, but like Weapons you said, I was super concerned that that one and done where he pretended to be Martha was going to be it. So I loved that he showed up again at the end for that. That made that a positive instead of a negative for me. Right. Mm-hmm. And he looked cool. CGI was a little rough, but like you said, you can see where they spent the money on. The best scene I absolutely fucking loved and lost my shit was the dream sequence with Flashpoint. Or not Flashpoint, with Injustice. That was fucking brilliant. Make that movie. I love the dialogue between Jared Leto's Joker. All of a sudden, alternate timeline. Now all of a sudden he doesn't have tattoos. That makes total sense. He even references different timelines and how many Batman specifically fucks up. He gets a reference to killing Jason Todd, which was amazing, and a reference that Batman's going to kill him for what he did to Harley Quinn, because in the Injustice storyline, Harley Quinn's a good guy, and that's fucking awesome. So nerding out hard. The problem is, if you're not a super crazy comic book fan, I don't know that any of that landed. I don't know. Like, were you confused?
I was. I mean, because I'm not, like, I would say that I'm a pretty casual when it comes to DC. So I know the main characters. I know the main storylines. But looking at all that, I was really confused. It felt like there was a lot of times where things were just dropped. I mean, for 4 hours and 4 minutes, I could use just a little bit more exposition as to what the fuck is going on at times. Like, because you're talking about the Martian Manhunter and the scene when he was Martha Kent, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah. I was like, because in my mind, I was like, I saw his face and I was like, okay, that was the guy from Man of Steel. I know that much. But what the hell is happening? Why are his eyes glowing? I don't understand why that happened. Mm-hmm. So I did need some explanation for it to make any sort of, connective sense in there. And that last scene, I was like, okay, what's happening here? Because it's an epilogue. I was like, okay, so we're gonna get a nice little wrap up, and what the fuck is happening here? It's like Mad Max or something. So I just didn't know.
That shouldn't have been the end. That was like dropped out of nowhere at the end. And again, yeah, if you don't know that stuff, like, yeah, okay. So, but that leads to one of the problems with the movie is that even though, okay, I'll give it that tonally, it's more cohesive. It is Zack Snyder's vision. Mm-hmm. Is it better than the theatrical cut? Sure. Is it a good movie? No. So here's the problem. This should have just been called like Justice League Stories, because it's so fucking random. There's just like, oh, this story with the Flash, and now like this chapter with Cyborg, and now this chapter with Batman, and like you said, there's these weird, awkward, just like hard cuts to something totally different. There was like no flow for the narrative of the movie. It's just like scene.
It should have been a season. They could have done that perfect in a season.
Sure, awesome. Even a 4-parter, sure, but like do like a miniseries, like do a 10-episode miniseries, and this would have been great.
You could have adopted an episode to each of those chapters of each of those characters,
and that would have worked as a standalone episode,
right?
And they didn't do that.
Let it build upon itself.
And I was thinking this the entire time I was watching it. Zack Snyder is a great visual storyteller, right? He puts up some amazing imagery. He gets a little too heavy-handed with the Jesus metaphor with Superman for me. That's a little lazy, because you can make Superman way more interesting than that. But fine, whatever, do it. But he will sacrifice. He does not as bad as Michael Bay, but he'll like sacrifice the logic of the scene for a good looking shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he did that all the time in this fucking movie. Right.
Like the Diana in the temple. Like it looked beautiful, but you can't really organically say why she stood in that exact spot that. Like you can tell when she's hitting her mark.
Yes.
Like, and that's the problem. Like it looked beautiful, but it didn't feel organic.
Right.
So it didn't, like, you get that visual acuity, but you lose your authenticity.
100% agree with that. And so I'm happy that this is Zack Snyder's vision, but as we talked about before, is Zack Snyder the person that I would have picked to make this movie? No, because this movie proved my fucking point. He doesn't get these characters. Like, he doesn't really understand them at all, specifically Superman. So, like, I'm happy Darkseid was in it, and I nerded the fuck out when he used the term anti-life equation, right? I lost my shit. I was like, that is amazing. I'm digging it. But again, non-nerd fan, no idea what that meant, right?
Help me out here. Help me out here. What does that mean?
So I was on board with that.
The series, DC series, that's Deceased, is that what it's called? Deceased?
Something like that, yeah.
But that's all about the anti-life equation taking over and making everybody like
it's
deadish.
Yeah, what does that mean to a newbie? What does that mean?
No, I hear you. No, exactly.
It's not doing its job as a movie explaining what the hell it's talking about. But you're right. So to nerds, we're like, yeah, that's amazing. But so Darkseid looks cool, and I like that. But the problem is when you're seeing Steppenwolf like interacting with Darkseid and whatever it doesn't matter what the other guy's name was. Then all of a sudden, Steppenwolf just seems like more of a punk, because he's just like bowing down to these. So all of a sudden when he's trying to like wreck stuff, I'm like not scared of him at all.
Right.
It didn't. There's no urgency. And like Superman seemed like he was in this even less, and he wrecked Steppenwolf even quicker. And so like there was like no urgency there either. And I was like, okay, fine. But I will say I like that Junkie XL did the theme, like his original score was back for this that got cut out of the theatrical cut. So when Superman is wrecking Steppenwolf, we get the First Flight theme from Man of Steel, which is great. But Zack Snyder, like, fuck off with the Wonder Woman. Anytime Wonder Woman shows up, like, I'm glad that you watch Spartacus and all you like the whatever the fuck, but every time she's on screen, they lead with that, and it's like, dude, I got it. Like, we don't need
hollering her back into the scene
every fucking time. And the slow-mo, the nonsense fucking slow-mo, like that took so much. I'm like, I thought when it showed Bruce shaving, it was gonna be like Gillette fusion by now. Like I was just like, what the like unnecessary. Like it works narratively for someone like the Flash or for like a badass action sequence, but when you're like slow-moing someone just like walking down the street, it's like, dude, okay, this work. Okay, the slow-mo thing, I get that, like that's your bag, and like the crazy over-the-top visuals, and like that works for something like 300 that is super crazy and stylistic. This isn't that. So like you could do the slow-mo thing, but fuck, like reel it back about 50% there, big shoots. Like it's a little too much.
It was very heavy-handed.
It was too heavy. So all of that, and just like he had so many just like weird fucking moments in this movie that just like the hot dog thing is the glaring example. I mean, obviously, I was literally like, how much whiskey have I drank? Like, is this actually fucking happening?
I was like, did he move the hot dog because it was about to impale her? And if so, then stop staring at her face and move it out of her way. Like, what is happening here?
And that's like just the one off the top of my head. There was so much weird shit in this movie.
Very weird.
That just didn't make sense.
Like some of the actual songs that they used were so awkwardly placed.
Yeah, okay, some of the actual
so
like the actual licensed music that was in
Yes,
this. Like, and it's just like that is a fucking interesting song choice.
I just said
like,
that's
sure.
the choices. The
Like
hashtag choices.
I get it. Okay. Yeah, you had decision making power, and that's what you went with. Okay. And the problem is, okay, so like nobody thought this movie was ever gonna happen, right? And the T. Crawler's point that the fucking fanboys are just like bitching and raving and we want this movie, but it's like you didn't like the other fucking movies Zack Snyder made, and now we're gonna let Zack Snyder make this. But we're gonna let him make a kind of worse version of it because he's going to use less money to finish it, right? And this is exactly what I thought it would be. Every fucking scene that was cut out of the original trailers is in this. And you remember back like when DVDs first became a thing, like, you know, like 2000, 2001, and you would get all the special features and you were super excited because VHS didn't have that. You would watch the extended scenes and you're like, oh, this is going to be better. And you watch it in 3-minute scenes, a 5-minute scene. You're like, that's cool. I get why they cut. I really didn't need to watch that. All of that shit's in here. And it makes the movie so fucking long that you're just like, I get, okay, yeah, that's kind of neat. That didn't need to be in the movie, though. Like, it fucks up the flow and the narrative of the movie. All right, I'm done. I'm going to stop.
So there's probably one.
No, I'm not, but I'm reeling it back. I'm going to let you guys
There's one
talk.
thing I bet you didn't expect was going to happen on this movie. A 4:3 aspect ratio. What the hell?
Okay, fucking. First of all,
mad about that.
Zack Snyder, 1997 called. They want their fucking aspect ratio back. What the fuck was that about?
It was terrible. Like for me, it was like watching Letterboxd VHS all over.
I thought my
again.
fucking TV tripped out, and I was like, oh shit.
No,
why was it 4:3? Did that bug you guys?
It said it in the beginning.
Intentional.
Sure.
It's intentional.
It's stupid. Why? What purpose did that serve other than to annoy me?
I'm gonna say I don't know. I don't think it served any purpose other than to annoy you. I think that was his purpose, to annoy Captain Mal all along.
Accomplished Zack Snyder.
This isn't a 4:3 ratio to annoy Captain Mal. It's right in the beginning.
But
at least I'd respect that. I'd respect the honesty.
Will intentionally annoy you.
I'm going to say some things about the character of Steppenwolf that I feel about that, and the things are, originally he seemed like a really dull, flat, like almost like a like you see on a video game type
he
CGI
looked like a PS2
shape with this dark hollow eyes, all that stuff.
Exactly.
He was really lifelike and stuff in this, so they did the good CGI.
Yeah.
I like the armor, and I'll tell you why. I saw you guys making some faces when I was talking about it, but the armor, how it moves on its own, like it's a living being,
yes.
And like when he would get stuff fired into him, it was like the armor would just spit it out and stuff like that. That was cool to me.
I like
that too. I like that. I also liked the fact that he was terrified and desperate of other people, because sometimes that makes a more complex villain and makes you understand this guy is not some boss who's running around with swagger and I'm running things. This guy was like, I have to do this or I'm totally fucked.
Right.
You know? And he was like, I have to do this. If I die doing this, that's fine because I have to do it. Otherwise, I'm nothing and my life's over. That was the kind of desperation. And that's totally understandable. And I felt like that was good and made him more complex than I'm just this total boss just running around running things and wrecking stuff. I like that.
No,
more.
so I agree with you on that. That the more information we got about him was cool because we do see the motivation. So now when he gets wrecked by Superman super easily, I'm like, oh well, you were a weak, scared little punk instead of just a boss punk that just gets wrecked for no fucking reason, and I don't understand why. So I did like his suit.
Not
better,
everybody's Superman.
No, not everybody.
Okay, but that was my
they-
favorite moment of that. It's like it was kind of like a Fight Club moment when Superman like punched him in the ear. You punched him in the ear, and it literally just ripped his ear off. Was that an ear or the horn? Whatever it was.
It was a horn.
That was my favorite part of it. It was like you.
I thought that was a helmet. I didn't know that was attached to him.
He was already,
You didn't know that was part of his head?
I couldn't tell.
he was already. I mean,
I did think he looked cool.
Kryptonian was like a concern anyway. When they say there's no lanterns,
No
or Kryptonians,
Kryptonians.
you know, to defend this world. So then he thought he was just going to take it over easily, you know. So when you said about the punch, what I thought was cool back when he first came back and he was fighting, and then the freaking bullet hit him in the face, and he just like moved his cheek. I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
like,
and they're like shooting at him, and it's like nothing. I just like that extended scene with them fighting too.
Yeah.
It's like
I actually didn't even like the fact that a bullet could move his cheek. Was it Superman's cheek? Is that who we're talking about?
Yeah, no, that should have like
I love
bounced
him
right
just
off
being
and
just
not
like
moved.
imperfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, the rest of them did. That's what it mean.
But was
So
he
then
not
that makes
as
no
strong?
sense then.
Was he not as strong? Is that why he needed the?
He had a pimple. That's where a pimple was.
In the comics,
pimple.
he's not as strong, and so
weaker.
the suit is what they call the solar suit. It absorbs the radiation from the sun to allow him to be at close to full power, not quite. They don't really go there in this. They just it was a cool shot when he's walking through the ship and like you see all the suits, and he's just like, I'm gonna go with black today. I'm like, I feel you. Like
Right.
it looks great.
Right there.
Can I tell you
like
what I
Spider-Verse.
loved about this? When they went back to the olden times fighting, when they fought off and almost killed Darkseid the first time he came in, I loved that battle.
Yeah.
That was
I
the,
freaking
That was
loved
Yeah, that was a
that.
big-
That was pretty cool.
When all the different characters, and you had a Green Lantern there.
Zeus?
Yes.
Zeus,
Yes.
all that. I
Yes,
freaking
that was awesome.
loved that.
That was cool, but that was also in the original movie, except that about 20 seconds of it.
Right.
So I like that it was fleshed.
Yeah.
We see even
No,
more
I
gods.
loved
Like
the
that
more,
was good.
all that was what I loved. They could have
Done that.
done more. they could have made a movie just about that. And I would have been happy.
My only annoyance with that, though, is that, so in the original cut, that's Steppenwolf that they're showing with that, and then they just kind of impose Darkseid in that. And so to me, it's just like it felt like they're just shoehorning Darkseid in here just to say Darkseid's in the movie. When like you didn't need to do that. You could have had him being the ominous one in the background, all the other scenes that he's in,
Right.
and had Steppenwolf been defeated. So then we could see that kind of shame thing that he's talking about because he failed or whatever the fuck reason is.
Right.
You know what I mean? That, but no, I agree. I forgot to mention that. That was great. That was all done great, and I like that we saw more Greek gods in that. Like that was cool. 'Cause we
Yeah.
only saw 3 in the original, so that was
So-
pretty good.
So
See
also,
Ares again.
why are they so terrified and feel like they have to hide or they're so scared of the Kryptonian? Has there ever been a Kryptonian on the planet before?
No.
In history?
That's what I was wondering.
Nope.
So it seemed like they know about him and they've known about him for billions of years or something, okay? That's what it seemed like to me.
Yep.
And then I was like, did a Kryptonian like 10,000 years ago happen to show up and go, hey, yeah, I'm gonna be Superman here for a while, I'll see you guys later? I don't know, but it was cool seeing an
understand the
old
lanterns.
lantern in there. That was cool.
Well, don't forget, like, this is a universal thing. So when Darkseid was like changing these worlds, this was all over the universe that they were looking at.
they
And
could have been on other
Kryptonians-
planets.
Right,
Right, that's
Kryptonians
true.
were at other planets at certain points.
And there are other planets that have suns similar to ours that could have affected them similarly.
Right.
So they could tell what their power level potential. This is headcanon at this point because, they don't
We're
explain
just
that.
guessing.
Yeah.
We're just guessing.
They should have
But-
explained that.
but,
Yeah, I
you know,
agree with
there's
you.
So they
big
were just
universe.
worried that the possibility that a Kryptonian could possibly be on Earth at some point.
Like, I know that planet got wrecked fucking centuries ago, but, in case there's one here, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably dead. I don't know if he's going to be wrecked.
Ooh, they're tough to beat.
That said, the conversation to bring Superman back was done way better because it wasn't just Bruce's idea, and we didn't have the scene where Wonder Woman shows.
We're all thinking it.
Yeah, it's like everybody thought about it, and like the way they built to that was really nice.
And Cyborg puts him on the freaking.
They also cut out the Aquaman Cyborg drama, which is, so I'm good with all that leaving. What I didn't like that they left out was a really nice moment between Wonder Woman and Batman, and they replaced it with like that awkward fucking touching of the hand thing, which didn't land for me. They also replaced what I thought was like the coolest fucking line in the entire movie when Flash is freaking out before they're gonna face him the first time, and he's just like, I've never been in a fight, I don't know what to do, and Batman's like, save one. He's like, and then what? He's like, and then you'll know. And then he saves everyone. That's like a really cool fucking mentor, and that wasn't in this. So nitpicks though, like it's fine.
So in the first one, wasn't it Flash like running people out real quick?
That's
over and
what
over
happened. He saves one, and then he's like, I gotta save them all.
I'll tell you what was weird to me was like, where is the sense of urgency at you people getting out here? And it was more like, instead of people going, oh my goodness, we got to get out of here, we got to get out of here quick, it was more like, okay, everybody, take it slow. We want to have everybody leaving the area in a calm, orderly fashion. Safety first, everybody.
Trips and falls.
And it was weird to me. It was like, where's your sense of, let's all get out of here, quick, hurry. So that was weird to me.
I do like when they're sitting there and Cyborg explains to, because Aquaman's like, well, how do we know you're not working with them? And he like does the whole hologram and explains, and how he's walking through explaining the Nazis and how they.
That was cool.
I thought that was part was cool too.
So all the interfacing things where we see from Cyborg's perspective of that was cool. Everything with Cyborg was
but
good.
like, and she mentioned it earlier.
Yeah,
like,
it was all good.
I liked the explanation, and it brought more to that character because we've seen how he was made and why those mother boxes were so important to him and all that stuff. Like before, it was nothing.
It was a mystery.
There, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But what this felt like is just they took all the footage that they had.
Yeah.
So if you've ever edited anything, you record a lot of footage and then you cut shit down to make it work. He's like, how much footage do we have? Okay, let's use it. Which part? All of it. They fucking threw everything that they ever fucking filmed. And also in the trailers leading up to this, they showed every new part of this movie. Like literally every single thing that was new that appeared.
Captain Mal. We want a Captain Mal cut.
Where I just put
everything. Put it all in there.
Well, you were just putting those two scenes
and
together.
everything would be slow-mo. Welcome to... Yeah, no. So that said, it's exactly what I thought it would be, in that it's just all the deleted stuff. It's a little bit of new stuff. I don't think if you really didn't like this movie, again, if you thought it was a 4, it's not an 8 now. Like, it didn't do that. It's way too long. Do I think this is the superior version? Sure. Am I ever going to sit down and watch all fucking 4 hours again? No, probably not. Will I sit down and watch all
parts
3.5
of it? I'll watch parts of it.
Sure. Yeah. Will I watch all 3.5 hours of Endgame? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for the last scene.
So, yeah. So as a whole, I think that it was an improvement. Did it live up to the hype? No. Do I have a lot of problems with it? Yes. Do I think Zack Snyder's a good filmmaker? No. Is he better than me? Obviously. I could never do that. So I feel like you should watch it if you're a DC fan, but it's not going to radically change your mind or what you thought of these movies or this universe. But I am actually like, I was going to be super negative about this until that end scene with Injustice. And then I was just like, well, now I hope everybody loves this just so they'll make that fucking movie. So,
all right.
Closing thoughts. What do you guys think of this movie overall? Like, let's sum up.
I mean, and that just looked like it was a hard sell into a, hey, we need to make another really cool movie. So I want to really sell this to you.
Even that felt disjointed and kind of out of place and just kind of like thrown fucking out there.
And I'll tell you, the Joker was cool.
He was?
I liked it.
It made me want Jared Leto Joker.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess that's all I have to say.
I'm way happy without the tattoos. I like it so much better.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool, crazier, disjointed type of Joker, which is what I like, and not like the one where he's just some crazy sad
who gets
person
lucky,
who gets lucky. Yeah. Somebody who's super crazy
and dangerous and methodical and would have 3 plans to fucking murder you.
It makes you have good reason to be afraid of him.
Also, like, they brought back a lot of characters. Like, William Dafoe shows up for no fucking reason. Like, just to say that, like, they're there, and you're just like, all right, sure.
So let's talk about Mira Maximoff for a second. That weird accent that she had going. Like, what was that?
I'm pretty sure she kind of had an accent. Miramax just caught that. I was like, I don't know what her last name is, but that sounds right.
Okay.
So I feel like she kind of had
I didn't even get it till you just said
now
that.
it makes total sense. Mission for the win.
I'm like 10 steps ahead, my bro.
Yeah, no, she kind of had an accent in the first Justice League, and she was just leaning fucking hard into it this time. And whatever.
You don't know what love is, do you? What are you even saying? You live in the ocean. How do you have that accent? Sorry.
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to mention that.
I was
well played.
confused. Like, is this the same character that we had been watching and all the other stuff? Like, why does she have an accent now? And then what happened to it later?
Right.
I mean...
So, yes, I don't know, and neither does Zack Snyder.
Right. Choices. Hashtag
Reasons.
choices.
Reasons. All the reasons.
No,
so,
but-
as a whole, are you happy you watched it? Or did you like it? Will you recommend it to people?
So we're going to take that maybe just one at a time. So am I happy I watched it? Yes. I was happy to watch it because, I feel like there is at some point a cultural touchstone with the Justice League. Trying to set up what the Avengers did in 38,000 movies that Marvel has done and only trying to do it in 8 movies that DC is doing, you were going to have to throw in so much just to try to get that same foundational feeling for the Justice League if they are going to build that world. Right. So having it 4 hours was hard, and I think, like I said, unnecessary. It could have been 3 hours very easily. But what I, am I happy that I watched it? Absolutely. Do I hope that they take what they set up in that movie and move forward with it? I sure do. Because I would like to see more of the Justice League. I want to know about the Martian Manhunter because I don't know anything about him. I mean, they just sort of dropped him in, twice. And by the way, that last
He's a Martian.
Right? Like, I was like, what's
Marsh.
going on here? But that last scene with
He's a green
Batfleck
Martian.
and Martian Manhunter, I'm telling you, that was one of the most beautiful scenes
That was good.
in the entire movie. Like, it was so gorgeously shot. Like, that sunrise in there was just amazing.
I want to point out why I like Affleck in that scene. He wasn't very Batman because he's just like, I'm here to help. And he's just like, all right.
Who are you?
Like, he was.
Yeah.
Batman would be a wee bit more skeptical, dude.
You know what was weird
that
to
kind
me?
of movie.
You spend not only this movie, but the previous Justice League movie running around begging people to be part of your team. Please, everybody, can I convince you to be part of this team? Can we all team up together? I need more people. We need all the people. And then he shows up and he's like, I don't even care. He's like, I was glad at the end. I'm glad at the end he finally said something like, yeah, I guess we could use you.
But so what was the next portion of it? So when I watched it again.
Hang on, but before you answer, I would just want to say that I love that you're giving them credit that they made 8 movies before this. This is movie number 4. So.
Oh, is that? It felt so much longer. I really did. Like, every single movie they have is like 18 hours long. So it just feels longer.
Like they've made it.
Is it really 4?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. See if it pays off.
It did not. It did not pay off.
It is the 4th movie in the DCEU was this.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. BVS was number 2.
Okay.
Wonder Woman, and then this. Suicide Squad, 5. So it was 5.
Are we going to count Wonder Woman 84?
No, that was after. And we should never count that for anything ever, except for a horrible fucking movie. Sorry.
Right.
Not sorry.
Right.
Did you like Wonder Woman 84? No.
I had so many problems.
Okay, no, we're going over the hour, but
let's say that for another podcast.
thumbs up or thumbs down? No, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs down for Wonder Woman 84. Thumbs so far down. Like,
Awesome. We will save that for the next time your ban is lifted in 1 year's time.
Hashtag disappointment.
All right, so would you recommend people to watch this? Would you tell people to watch it?
Watch it once. I would say watch it once. Try to split it up. Don't watch it at midnight to 4 a.m.
Yeah, that was
a big ass mistake.
Fucking
I'm fucking tired right now. Like, this is just absolutely the pits right now. How tired I am. But I would say watch it once. At least have that foundation. The narrative was not as good as it could be, but it was better. This time. We had more, like, there was a little bit more cohesion of what he was trying to accomplish. So when you do the hashtag it was intentional, it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad. So
yeah, I've missed the 4:3 aspect ratio. I just wish I was watching it on a fucking tube TV.
So
That'd have been great. Like a tube TV, VHS, fucking
The CRT.
hybrid. Yeah, that'd have been cool.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. No, so yeah, so I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was fucking all right. It was there. It's fine. It's whatever. It's cool. watch it, I guess. All right, hey, that's what we thought about the Justice League Snyder cuts. Weapon 2, we got shit going on. What's going on?
All right, people.
Here we go, people.
I'm not a man of talk. I'm a man of action. Okay. And what I want is to stop talking about giving you guys some free prizes. We want to really do this. Right now, folks, we're at 245, I believe, the last time on our YouTube subscribership.
Yeah.
We want everybody to help us get to 300. Here's the deal, folks. This thing doesn't cost you anything. This thing's free. All you have to do is subscribe. Watch our video, share it. That's great, but we need you to comment with your name so that we know who you are, because every single person who's ever in the history of the world's greatest news and reviews YouTube channel is going to be a part of this drawing. We're going to choose you at random.
Except for guests are excluded.
You can go fuck yourself.
When-
no, sir.
When we find out who the lucky person from this random drawing is going to be,
Nobody at this table.
none of us will be involved. This is what we're going to do, folks. There's at least a three-part system to this box packing. Number one, folks.
Ooh, bring it.
Personalized drawing. You tell us who your favorite character is. I'm going to draw you a picture of that character. It's going to be an original drawing.
Do it in
by
Snyder
me.
slow-mo.
It's going to be an original drawing. It's going to be amazing. Hot dogs.
We're better than this. Do it.
Right.
No, it's fine.
So, number 2, we are going to get you a Funko Pop from our neighbors in Everett, Washington. It's going to be if we can find it, of the character that you told us you like. If it exists, we're going to try to get it for you. Number 3, what we're going to do is we're going to give you. You're going to tell us what size of a shirt is a comfort fit for you, and we're going to give you one of our, at the time, our newest 3rd logo. We're going to have 3 logos to choose from. We're going to give you whatever size is a comfort fit for you. I'm telling you, we want you to be comfortable. We want you to wear it.
Sized.
Yes, it's awesome. Now, number 3.
No guarantees that the fit will actually match you.
This is where we go off the rail, because we're going to throw in some comic books. If we can find them of your favorite characters, things you like, things you're into, that's what we're going to do. We might even throw in some special surprise.
Over here.
Some surprise comic books. And here's the thing. This is when we're going off the script.
Oh,
we're going
shit.
bonkers. We're going to throw in some odds and ends that we're not even going to talk about right here. They're going to be awesome. We're going to find them. They're going to throw them in there. When you open it up, it'll be a complete surprise. You're going to go, they didn't even say they're going to send this, and they sent it. It's awesome. Oh, boy, folks. I just brought my voice there. So here's the deal. I'm gonna start pushing this hard, because people need to get free stuff, and you're never gonna get free stuff. Tell all your friends, tell your family, tell random acquaintances that you need to subscribe to the world's greatest news and reviews for your happiness, for the betterment of all mankind and womankind. And everybody's kind, because we're kind to everybody. Everybody be kind. Life of the kind. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be kind.
Shameless plug.
Nice.
Woo! Way to go!
Go!
We get it.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to yell at you guys for that real quick on that. I need to. You are fucking up your own social media.
Are we?
And you need to, your subscribers need your help too.
Wow.
So
We need help. We need all the help. We
What
need your
video
help.
did I
Everybody
click on?
Definitely need help on this. Okay, you guys are fucking up on your social media, your Facebook pages. You guys need to be sharing more. You need to be encouraging your viewers to share more. You're not going to be able to get the big reach that you guys really deserve. You work really hard at this. You work partially hard at this. So you work 50% hard at this.
Why are you looking at me? What the fuck? Stop dropping it.
Hey,
I'm saying you work so hard on this, but you need to share more. You need to share more.
So you mean on our personal accounts?
Right. Everybody needs to start sharing more of these post-podcast your graphics, you need to really start getting like your algorithm base up. You know, you need to get your subscriber base up, but you also, to do that, you're going to have to get more shares out of this. So you guys share to your personal pages. You guys share to your personal pages.
Open. What are you talking about?
Seriously, I know a little bit about social media, just a little bit.
I was about to say, it
I
seems
know
like you know what you're talking about. How many
Right.
followers do you got on Life of the
Almost
Kind?
100,000.
That's way fucking more than we got.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm at about 99,000 right now. So I know just a little bit about this, and I really want you guys to succeed. Like, you guys have something really special here.
That's awesome.
Aw.
This one is
Thanks.
really special in a special way.
I'm gonna be made me
Right,
cry.
I really want you guys to do well, but in order to do that, you have to help yourself. Help yourself.
I'd love to help
you
myself.
Help yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so not like and share.
Do you think it would? Do you think it would help if Captain Mal and T Crawler posted more often as well, and it wasn't
Fuck yes.
always just me
Saying
the
that
majority
it
of the
would
time?
help
If
if
you're
we
wondering
shared
why I'm
Oh, no, I hear
staring
that
at him
too.
when I'm saying
I hear
somebody
that
needs
too.
to share on their personal page, because
Yeah.
some people just don't share
That'll work on it.
on their personal pages, and start commenting, make comments, and really start to
Be more interactive.
engage a little bit more.
Our
They need
Instagram
friends.
is over 1,200
Like
though.
Batman,
so that's
they need
cool.
friends.
What?
Like Batman, they need friends. They need their own right?
I
They're trying to make friends. Please
I
help
could
them.
use some friends. Yeah, that's cool.
It's cool.
No problem.
Okay.
We,
guys.
Mischief Managed, we appreciate the advice and the lecture and the
Yeah, we
scolding coming from
my
an
specialty.
experts, yes, in this field, and we will do that. Speaking of, T. Crawler, talk about the Instagrams.
Yes.
Well, we're like Webby 2 already said, we're at 1,200, which, I mean, it's in less than a month. I just
Job.
Yeah.
buckled down and started like following some people that are like-minded with us, and they started following, and then other people that follow them follow us. Like, it just continued to go up.
Networking.
Yeah, it's a lot of networking, which is awesome. And I stopped for a while. Once we got to 1,000, I stopped. I kind of drew back a little bit to see where it was going, and it just continued to go up. So I'm like, okay, this is awesome.
Good job.
Continue to thank people that are showing us support. That seems to help. People love that. So. So it's getting up there, and again, it wouldn't be possible without the freaking funny memes from this guy. Like,
Yeah.
all the stuff he's putting up there, I just continue to put on our active storyline. So, and people are loving that stuff. So, keep up the good work.
Yeah, that's
Good
awesome.
job.
So here's what I'm getting. Weapon 2, you're awesome. T. Crawler, you're awesome. Captain Mel, I'm awesome. Mischief Managed, you're banned for a year.
What the fuck?
No, I think she's awesome.
She's awesome.
She's also awesome. She's also banned.
Everybody's
Regardless
Everybody's awesome.
regardless of any status of being banned, she's awesome.
Yes. So did I earn my ban this time? Because if not, I'm ready to go for
You
some
yelled at
expletives.
us for like 5 minutes.
That was good. I liked it. I think it was a great
coming
job.
Your way. Trust me on that.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got all that. Check out theworldsgreatest.net. That's your one-stop shop for all things TWG. You can find links to all of our social media platforms and a bunch of original arts from this man right here, Stolen Cheese. Check that out. All one word. Don't search 2 words. You'll find a bunch of dairy let's start that over. You'll find a bunch of dairy theft. That's
right.
hard to say when you've been drinking.
That's right.
Hey,
That all the way.
Hey everybody, and follow me on Stolen Cheese World on Instagram too.
Do that.
I mean, why not?
yes, please
Okay.
do. It's
Also,
so talented.
to the Patreons that we have, you are my favorite people in the whole wide world, and I mean that more. Like, I really mean that, actually. Like, more than my parents. Like, I love you guys so much more. You've given me more.
That's distinctive.
So I love all my Patreons. We do have a Patreon. We have a $3, $5, and $10 tier level. Please check that out.
And I think we're going to try to start posting more stuff for exclusive
We
Patreon
are.
content. So that'll be cool.
Ah.
Yeah, we'll do that again. Do that
The
more.
reactions over here.
We did some of that. We need to start focusing more
We
on
will,
doing some of
for
that.
sure.
That'll be awesome. We're going to be we're using our green screen
We are gonna
pretty
be using
soon.
the green screen. We got
and
some
that'll
plans
be
for
fun.
that.
We got some plans for that. That'll be cool.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Can I be unbanned for like one green screen?
We'll talk, possibly.
You're not really banned. He's tough. That's all tough talk.
Yeah, please come
Yeah.
back and
Yeah.
bring your 99,000 fucking followers.
Okay, well, reach out to my people.
Your people will talk to our people. It'll be fine. Our people's
Well,
Hailstorm, by the way.
I'll
so
check my spam folder
okay.
more. I'll check my spam folder more.
Ouch.
often. Oh, okay.
Oh, it hurts when it's real. All right.
Burn.
Closing thoughts?
So ruthless, huh?
Closing thoughts?
Hey, this was fun. We did it again, you
it.
guys. We did it, everybody. We all did it. Woo! That's all I got to say.
T. Growler?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Mischief Managed, thank you for joining us again.
Y'all
This was
can
a
go fuck
there we go.
Yeah!
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the World's Greatest News and Reviews. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.
Peace.
Turn it on.